Yo, what is up, guys? This is RizzyPOW, and this is my Week 7 battle of the TBU up against Monatui. He's a friend of mine that I have met in the March Madness tournament. We actually played there in the pool play of the March Madness tournament. I did beat him over there, which is pretty cool. But today we're going to be going up against him in the TBU, and this is a pretty scary opponent. He is now a member of the GBA. He's the newest member of the GBA, which is pretty cool. And what else? He is number 1 right now in the TBU, and he has a very good record, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember exactly, but he's doing really well in the GBA. So he's juggling both these leagues, both really big name leagues. Although the GBA is much bigger than the TBU, but he's juggling these leagues together, and he's doing really well in both of them. So very scary opponent, but I definitely think that we do have a decent matchup versus him. He does have some threats, but yeah. So let's just get right into the team that you could bring. Also, I'm recording this Thursday night, so I'm not going to be able to get a chance to upload this on Thursday. So I'm actually just going to upload the battle and the team builder up right in one video, just to save time and just have it as one video. So I'm really sorry about that, but if you guys want to skip to the actual battle, make sure to go look in the description. There will be a timestamp for that, and you can go do it, and you'll just have fun. But you shouldn't do that because you want to look at the team that I'm bringing in, because it'll make you feel good, and I spent time on this team, man. But yeah, let me real quick just say that I actually made a bench swap this week. Obama Snow, I took it off the bench, and I was debating on taking Poliwrath or Houndoom on the bench. I still have 3 bench swaps at this point, so I can use them. And also, the thing is that I forgot to say how important this match is. I need to win my next 2 matches to be able to make it in the playoffs. So I had to beat Mono, and then I had to beat Bub. So that is the plan that I'm going for. I need to beat both of them, and then I'm in playoffs. I want to beat both of them, obviously, and first thing I got to do is beat Mono to be able to make it. So that's the plan going into this. I really need a win, desperate for a win, actually. And I did take something off the bench. I have 3 bench swaps still remaining, so which I want to definitely use one, because I have Abomasnow on my roster right now, and it does pretty much nothing versus him, and I don't think it does too much versus Bub. I did not really check that much, but it doesn't do much versus Mono, and I definitely want to take something off, just because this is like one of the last chances I'm gonna, like, I need to take something off, because one, like, I want to do my best to be able to win this match, and I want, even if I don't necessarily bring the Mon that I take off, I want him to have to prepare for it. So I took off Houndoom because it's just really good versus team, and I expected that I might be able to bring it. It just 2 kills like almost everything, I think, with this double stab. It's very nice. With like a Specs or Life Orb variant. Also, what it does is that it means that Crest can't run the coverage boost, just like it can't just run Shadow Ball plus Psychic versus me in the Moonlight. It has to run like some coverage move to be able to hit the Houndoom of some sort, which means that that'll be pretty cool. Because that limits the Crest a little bit, but you know, that was pretty much it. Definitely something I thought might bring versus him, because it's pretty good versus team. Now my team is Mega Latios, Clefable, Jirachi, Suicune, Nidoqueen, Snorlax, Tornadus Eye, Houndoom, and Lucario. His team is Mega Blastoise, Kyurem Black, Scolipede, Cresselia, Gligar, Magneton, Deontay, Zoroark, and Virizion. So just look at his team. I was almost positive that Zoroark was coming. I had a lot of mock battles with some friends, so like a lot of people helped me out, like Trev, Blake, Tom, Toj, and maybe some other MPL members. So thank you guys a ton. They helped me out a little bit. They helped me give mock battles and get mock battles and stuff like that, and just give me ideas on the team and stuff. But yeah. Mega Blastoise, I didn't really necessarily think it would come. I thought it was pretty good. It probably would come, but it wasn't like really that good. I have a Clefable on my team. I have a Suicune on my team, and I originally had Suicune on the team that I brought as a counter to Mega Blastoise, but Clefable counters it just as well. So there's that. Kyurem Black, just a scary mod in general. I do have checks in it, so that's pretty cool. Scolipede, very scary mod. I don't really have many switch-ins to 3 attacks Life Orb set that he usually brings, so that is very scary. Cresselia, just something annoying. I don't necessarily have anything to hit it very hard on my team, but I have stuff to take advantage of it, like, you know, Calm Mind Clef and other stuff on my team that I'll talk about. Gligar, just something I didn't think it was very good versus my team, but it does give him a nice rocker. I thought if he brings it, he probably would bring Taunt on it, stop stuff like Curse-Lax or Clefable. Clefable mostly was probably the biggest threat that he was thinking of. Magneton, just something I thought it would be Scarf to revenge kill certain Pokemon. And then Deontay, just another rocker, something to help him versus Latios. Zoroark, I thought was almost going to come with its Dark Stab plus Sludge Bomb, just hurts my team a lot. And then Virizion, I thought that potentially could come as well because, you know, Trev actually brought a Banded variant versus me, but everybody else brought an SD variant with X Scizor to be able to hit that Mega Latios, so that is pretty cool. Now, I'm going to get right into the team. Let's actually start off with this, because this is the win condition that I wanted versus him. Now, Curse-Lax is very, very good versus Mono's team. Once I get a curse or two up, he does not have much to deal with me at all. I can set up on stuff like Gligar and stuff like that. He also is a very balanced player, Mono, so this can set up on a lot of his walls, so that's very nice. He always brings a couple walls, so that is very nice to know just on his team style. It can set up on Deontay, it can set up on Gligar, it can set up on Magneton, it can set up on Crest. And it can even set up on Zoroark if it's fully special, and just me getting a curse up or two is going to put me in a very nice position. His only real ways to check it are stuff like Aura Sphere from his Blastoise or Focus Blast from Kyurem B, which I really expected to bring Focus Blast on Kyurem Black this match. Or something like Low Kick or Focus Blast on Zoroark, and even Virizion. He might bring a Banded Virizion or something like that to help him versus Lax. So yeah, I decided to go with Body Slam because Body Slam is cool and it paralyzes stuff. And this spread does a lot of, it does something very specific. It's not just a normal spread that you find on Smogon, although it's very close to it. It does something specific. I don't really remember exactly and don't feel like looking at it. I think Hells versus Blastoise or something with the Aura Sphere. Make sure that, I don't know exactly, but let's get into my second win con this match. This is a Dragon Dance Mega Latios. Dragon Claw, Earthquake were just the coverage that I wanted versus him. I wanted Zen Headbutt as well to be able to hit, to be able to check Virizion a little bit better because I am almost max speed enough to outspeed the Virizion, so I can hit it up, but I don't one-shot it obviously. So if he gets an SD up, that's going to be kind of scary, but I do have other checks for it, so that's not that big of a deal. And I do have Clefable that pretty much eats up any hit from it. Also, Earthquake, I knew I definitely wanted to bring that. I also wanted Roost just for reliable recovery because this thing is a nice wall for stuff like Magneton and stuff like that. And I can set up on Magneton. I can set up on a lot of things on his team. I'm not sure if I can set up on Crest because he will probably have T-Wave for me, which would be very, very annoying. So Earthquake right here is very good because it hits his Deontay, it hits his Magneton, and, you know, it's just overall really good. But, Dragon Claw hits the rest of his team. Also, once I get Earthquake damage on his Deontay, which will probably be his main switch into this, it will be in range of close combat for my Lucario, which is very nice. And yeah, this is just overall a good set. Now, this Mon right here is my Clefable. I have Cosmic Power, Calm Mind, Softball, and Moonblast, and this is supposed to be another win con, but at last minute I ended up changing this to Flamethrower, and the reason was Cosmic Power baits in his two real checks to it, being Magneton and his Scolipede. So since it baits that in, if I have Cosmic Power, he'll probably be expecting it to be double set up with Calm Mind, and I can end up luring and flamethrowing the Scolipede, which is a huge threat to my team, and getting damage off on that thing. And it's very easy to wear Scolipede down, especially if he is the Life Orb set. Now, Moonblast is just nice dab versus his team, and unfortunately, even though this was a last minute change, I ended up genning it wrong, and it ended up being Calm Mind. So that's what I had to deal with in the battle. And I end up putting Babiri Berry on this just because this helps this be a check for his Kyurem Black, because it'll probably have Iron Head, and then I can Moonblast it and it'll get really low and it'll be nice. Especially if I have some Cosmic Powers up, it can potentially win. And since I brought double setup, this still is a very good threat versus him. And he probably won't switch in Scolipede right away on this because in fear of a Flamethrower. Because it's definitely very good versus my team. Now, the next mon that I had decided to bring was this thing. So this is Subcalm Mind Jirachi. I was thinking about running Subtoxic, but I just thought Subcalm Mind was a bit better because I was thinking about running Drain Punch plus Iron Head. Plus, with Subtoxic, I actually I wanted definitely enough speed to outspeed Kyron Black, and with the EVs to outspeed Kyron Black, I'm not going to be able to invest enough in bulk to be able to survive a Shadow Ball from his Cresselia without it breaking my sub 100%. So I thought there was not really much reason to do it. Anyway, I definitely wanted this much speed because it helped me check his Kyron Black, and then Hidden Power Ground is just in case he tries to trap me with Magneton. If I get his Calm Mind up, that'll help me a lot. Sub Calm Mind also sets up on his Cresselia unless he has, I mean, if he has T-Wave, I can play around that and stuff. We'll have to see if he does have T-Wave, because T-Wave would just be very annoying on the crest. Now the next one is Air Balloon Lucario. 4 attacks. Ice Punch built at his Gligar, E-Speed, and Vacuum Wave are the stabs that I've chosen. Vacuum Wave just nice versus team. I was thinking about running a Nasty Plot variant, but I ended up deciding against that. I ended up deciding with just going with 4 attacks. Air Balloon is there because this also gives me a check to stuff like Kyron Black. It gives me something that Gligar he can't just EQ me. He'll have to U-turn on me, which I'm expecting U-turn if he does bring Gligar. This Vacuum is just nice for Zoroark, and the reason why I did not bring a Nasty Plot variant was because it didn't allow me to hit Scolipede that hard because I don't have E-Speed, and Virizion just is nice special bulk, and SD Virizion is very scary to my team, so I was scared that he might have you know, and it has very good special bulk, so Vacuum Wave would not be able to kill. So I decided that this set was just better versus team. The thing about SD, in case he does not actually end up seeing my Air Balloon, because Air Balloon is actually an item that you don't really see that much on Wi-Fi, because it just shows it up for a second and says there your Mon is floating on an Air Balloon, which is really unfortunate because that's kind of not very competitive. It kind of would suck that if I win just because he doesn't see an Air Balloon, but you know, I'll take the win if I get it that way. That would be fine with me. I don't mind getting a win because I need this win to get in the playoffs. So there's that, and yeah, this also gives me another check to his Scolipede because he can't hit me that hard unless he has like Aqua Tail or some shit or Superpower. Which I highly doubt he'd bring, because he's never brought that kind of stuff. He also, on Scolipede, might be Jolly Max Speed to be able to outspeed my entire team besides Scarfers. I don't have many good Scarfers on my team, especially for his team, so he might do that instead of Protect. He might even have Swords Dance, so I have to watch out for that. SD is just very scary versus my team. Now the last Mon is my Nidoqueen. This gives me another check to his Scolipede because I resist both of his stabs, and the only way he can really hit me is his Earthquake. He might bring Aqua Tail, but I just think that he'll probably bring Earthquake versus me. I also have Toxic. This is a very bulky Nidoqueen, by the way, and the coverage for it is not the best for his team. I know I don't really hit his Gligar at all, but one, I have stuff to set up on his Gligar, although he might have Taunt, but still, I have kind of ways to beat his Gligar a bit. Maybe not the best ways, but I can still deal with it. Only I really have Ice Punch on Lucario. I'm a bit weak to it, I guess. Fine. Okay, I am a bit weak, but this special attack investment means that if he doesn't have any bulk in Scolipede, which is the set that I'm expecting him probably to be Jolly Max Speed, Flamethrower will actually kill him after Rocks. Earth Power is just nice stab versus him. Toxic is actually there for his Cresselia because his Cresselia is probably going to be his main switch into his Nidoqueen because his team does not really appreciate Nidoqueen otherwise, really. And Rocks is just there because I need Rocks, and Rocks are just very nice for his team. So I hope that wasn't too long. I try to explain as quickly as possible, and let's get right into the battle. Yo, what is up, guys? We are here with the actual match up against Mono. So, as you can see, this is the team that he brought. He did end up bringing Cresselia, which I wasn't 100% sure why. Like, now, I mean, I knew that it was obviously a possibility, although, most of the people didn't bring it versus me, although I wasn't like too scared of Crest. It wasn't that big of a threat. I was thinking this was probably a Calm Mind variant since he brought it. I don't think he's brought Calm Mind yet, but usually the time he brings Moonlight plus 3 attacks. So I definitely could see why he brought it, especially like because Nidoqueen is kind of a problem to his team besides it. But it's alright because I do have Cosmic Calm Mind Clef, and at this point I did think that I had Flamethrower my Clef instead of Calm Mind, but I ended up finding that in the battle. He does bring Choice as well, which I thought was like, I mean, I definitely thought it could come as well. I didn't 100% expect it, but he brought Zoroark, Kyron Black, Scolipede, 3 Mons I definitely expected, and Gligar as well, which I was expecting that he'd probably have Taunt on this thing, so I had to look out for that. I definitely thought U-Turn, and this thing was his only rocker that he brought, so probably rocks as well, and then I guess he needed recovery as well. Now, I am actually recording this on YouTube. The reason why I'm doing that is just because I'm kind of experimenting different ways of recording and stuff, and I like, my favorite way of recording, like postcom, is probably live recording it and then making it super fast, and I get to talk about my plays really well and that kind of stuff in it, but yeah, when I'm recording my capture card, I don't have the option to pause it, so I thought maybe if I record it on YouTube like this, it might be a little bit better. I'm just trying to test it out. If you guys like it, make sure to go and tell me, but I'm just recording like this. Now, just look at our matchup, on like what I think I should lead off with. I was definitely thinking Nidoqueen was a good lead versus him because, you know, it beats pretty much everything. I don't mind anything except for the Blastoise. And at the same time, I don't want to get too weakened because of the Scolipede, because I'm the Shuka Berry. It's one of my only counters to Scolipede, so I definitely didn't want to get weakened. So I decided in the end, I go Clef, because I knew Blastoise was a very common lead for him. I've scouted him quite a bit, and he actually leads off of Blastoise quite a bit. So I'm deciding with Clefable because I can beat any Blastoise 1v1. I have a lot of Spadef investment to the point where, like, he can't even 2-hit kill me with Hydro Pump or Flash Cannon. Yeah, so it does like 41 to 49%. That's the roll for Clefable, so it doesn't have any chance to kill me. And I have just a ton of Spadef investment on this Clef, so I'm not too worried. I am Cosmic Power. This is Curselax. You guys saw that little team, so I'm not really going to go over it, but I do end up deciding to lead off with that. Yeah, so I end up deciding to lead off with that, and yeah, he is going to lead off with the Blastoise, as you can see right here. You see the Blastoise, and I'm going to end up leading out my Clefable. So right here, I actually just go for the Moonblast. I'm pretty sure because I didn't want to set up right away, and I was expecting potentially his Scolipede to come out, and I just want to get damage off on that. If I had Flamethrower, I'd have probably gone for it right here, but I did not. Now, he's going to go in his Gligar, so this immediately, like, I don't think, even if I had Taunt, I think he'd go for his Rocks first, right over here, so I ended up going for the Calm Mind. I didn't necessarily expect Taunt, it wasn't the most thing on my mind, but I was pretty sure he'd want to set up Rocks at this point right over here, so I just ended up going for the Calm Mind. And now I'm just going to go for the Moonblast because he's either going to stay in maybe Taunt or even go out into a Scolipede. And I just want to start getting damage on a Scolipede because weakening it down is going to be very nice. And that is doing more than 50%, so he's going to actually U-turn out. I'm just going to go for another Moonblast. I am a good amount of health, so it's not, I'm at pretty much full health, so it's no need to be soft bouldering or anything. I just want to Moonblast. He goes on a Crest right here. Definitely a middle ground play because Scolipede could have been hit by a Flamethrower right there. And he actually goes to Crest. So this is telling me that he is definitely a Calm Mind Crest. Probably with Psyshock to 1v1 a Calm Mind Clefable. I do have Cosmic Power, but 1, I'm taunted right here. 2, even though I have Cosmic Power, it's going to end up going down to a crit. And I'm not really sure who would win that battle 1v1. I think he would still win it 1v1 most likely. But I'm just going to go on my Luxray over here because I can start cursing up on this thing. And since he did switch it on like that, I'm almost assuming that he has Psyshock. So he's not going to be able to deal with the Curse Lax at all. So I'm just going to start cursing up right over here. You're going to see he's going to actually withdraw because he knows that he can't deal with the Curse Lax. And he's going to go in his Gligar right here. So that's fine. I'm going to get my first curse off, and I'm just going to start firing Body Slams. I want to keep this thing low, and I can potentially get a Para on it. It's just my best play to just keep on spamming Body Slam for a little bit. I did expect him to go for the Taunt right here, but he ended up going for the Roost, which is pretty cool. I'm just going to go for that Body Slam, and I'm gonna do a little bit of damage off on him. I'm not going to do too much. He's obviously a Gligar. He's very bulky, so... yeah, now he does. I expect him to go for the Taunt this turn since he didn't go for it last turn. I'm just going to go for a Body Slam again. There's no reason not to. And I'm going to get the Para at some point. Now he taunts again. I'm not sure why he did that. I'm very confused. Although at the time of this battle I was confused. But I did watch his team builder just now, and he did not have anything to actually hit me with, so I guess that makes sense now. Why he went for the double taunt, because his only attacking move was U-turn on this thing, which was kind of weird, but he said he had 4 move slot syndrome on it, but you know, whatever. He goes on his Blastoise right here, and now I do make a pretty bad play in my opinion right over here. I do have the Chople Berry, so I know I can live any hit from this thing. It's going to be doing about 25 to 30% in Aura Sphere with my bulk investment. And I'm just going to fire off another Body Slam because I want to get some damage off on this thing, and I want to potentially paralyze it. Mostly I just want the damage off on it. It's going to do like 35 to 40%, and that damage is going to be very nice. It's going to prevent him from spinning later when I hopefully get my rocks up, because rocks are just good versus team. But yeah, I just wanted to get some damage off, and I think that was a bad play because this was my win condition in this match. I know Clef was as well, but this was a definitely bigger win condition, especially since his Gligar went down, which is pretty much his only stop to Curse-Lax on his team, I saw. So, besides this thing could potentially check it, but like still, he's very weak to Curse-Lax right now. I should definitely save it, especially save the Chople Berry. My thought process was that, you know, he doesn't have many fighting moves on his team. Did not bring the exact team that I thought he would. He did not bring Verzion, but he definitely could have had Low Kick or Focus Blast on the Zoroark. Plus just keeping this at full health would have been nice. So I'm going to end up staying in, and I'm going to use up my Chople Berry. It's pretty obvious he kind of has to go for the Aura Sphere right here. I kind of wish at this point I did switch out into my Clefable, but I'm just going to eat the Chople Berry right over here, and he is going to fire off that Aura Sphere, and he ends up getting a crit, which really sucks. I was really worried at this point because if he did not get a crit, I'm pretty sure it would have been a roll for Low Kick to kill me. Focus Blast would definitely have not been able to kill me, but now it's in a roll to kill me. I think that's without rocks, but I was definitely kind of worried. But his Aura, he's going to fire off another Aura Sphere. He kind of has to. It's going to kill me at this point, and I'm just going to switch out my Clef. It's probably my best play. And right here, he actually goes for Hydro Pump. Now, the Hydro Pump miss kind of mattered. I'm unpositive, but the Hydro Pump miss kind of mattered. It was a roll for it to 2-hit kill me with that investment, with that a little bit of health gone. And I just went for the Moonblast right there because I really expected his Scolpy to come in, because that's one of the only things. But he did not do that. I was kind of confused by that play, so I just went for the Cosmic Power right here because I would have been able to 1v1 that Blastoise. So I just go for the Cosmic Power. As I'm going to switch out right here because Scolipede is a huge threat, and I kind of want to Moonblast on the switch and help get some chip damage. I'm going to go on to my Nidoqueen right here, and this is definitely my lure for my Scolipede, because it does have the Choco Berry, and the Choco Berry is actually pretty obvious right here. So I was debating going for rocks, but I ended up deciding to make the safer play, and I clicked Flamethrower. He did go for the Poison Jet. That is almost nothing, but yeah, the Choco Berry is very obvious. I really want to click rocks, or even Toxic, but I end up deciding to go with Flamethrower as he actually switches into his Kyurem Blake, which is a pretty good play. Yeah, I guess he saw that I wasn't really, I was bulk invested a lot, so he could switch into his Kyurem right there, which definitely a good play. I'm now going to go out into my Clefable because I kind of expected an Earth Power. I definitely had to pivot around this, this Kyurem Black, and I knew that Earth Power was coming. I knew I could live an Iron Head from this range, even if it's Extra Belt, because I have the Babiri Berry. And he does call that bluff as well, or that lure as well. So I'm just going to go for the Moonblast right over here because I thought he was going to go for Iron Head. I would have lived it with the Babiri Berry, and I would have killed it. He goes down at this thing. I do get some nice chip damage off of that, which is fine with me. And that Kyurem is still a huge threat. I thought I'd be able to get rid of it that way, but I did not. So not to sack something off, he could have gone pretty much for any move right there. I really expected Earthquake, but I thought Jirachi was just the best sack. This is a Calm Mind set, and it's just, I mean, it's nice for his team, but he did not bring stuff like Magneton. He didn't bring, he did bring Crest, and this could have beat Crest 1v1, although it was a Calm Mind Crest, but I said I was sub Calm Mind, and I assumed that he would be Shadow Ball his last move, or Signal Beam or something. I'm not sure if he gets Signal Beam, because he was Calm Mind, so he wouldn't be able to break my sub. Now I do realize he was just Side Shock, which I'm kind of confused by, because I did have a Houndoom. If I brought that, I would have been able to wall completely, which, I mean, it doesn't mean that he could not have brought it, but it was just definitely a bit more risky. But right here, I'm going to go on to Nidoqueen because it is my check for this thing. I do have the Shuckle Berry, and that's fine. And right here, I'm pretty sure I play it safe again, and I go for the Flamethrower. I really should have gone for the rocks here because the chip damage would have been nice, but I just go for a Flamethrower. He's going to go into his crest, which is going to probably scare me out. And right here, he actually makes a double. I actually just go for the Tox right here because one, the switch to Lax was very obvious, and I didn't want to get, I thought he would probably pivot out right now into something like his Blastoise, because he can't let let me curse Lax right here. And Toxic was just my safest play because I highly doubted he'd go for a Side Shock right here. I thought maybe I guess my Jirachi was down, so he probably wouldn't go for a Signal Beam, although he might for my Latios. But I just go for the Toxic right here because I didn't want to I wanted to get a Toxic off him on that crest at some point. He actually just switches out into his Blastoise, which is fine with me. I'm not going to switch out of this. I'm going to go out of my Clef. No, I'm going to go out of my Latios because Clef is at a very low amount of health. And I'm just going to eat up this Hydro Pump. I'm not going to eat it up. I take quite a huge chunk from that, like 30-40%, which is fine though. I didn't think he was going to Dark Pulse right here, so yeah. I can't Rusuff on this thing because he definitely has Dark Pulse because I have like a Jirachi and this, and Dark Pulse is just good for my team. So I'm just gonna go for the Dragon Claw to revenge kill this thing. This is a D-Dance Mega Latios, which I kind of end up regretting in this match. It did very well in my mock battles, but in this match it didn't really end up doing much. And he's just gonna go onto his Scolipede right here as I'm gonna switch out. He's probably gonna outspeed me even without a Protect, because he probably is Jolly, and I want to save this for later because it is a good check to his it is a good check to that one mon. It's a good check to Chiron Black, so I wanted to save it for that. And right here, I do take a huge chunk, but I'm still not in range of Earthquake. So, as you can see right here, his Scolipede is very, very low. So, if he does end up going for an Earthquake, it's going to take 2 to kill me. He's going to take 2 more Life Orb hits to go for it. So, at this point, Nidoqueen there's not much point for it anymore. His Blastoise is also dead. So, my best play right here is to actually go for the rocks, because if he ends up taking 2 turns to kill my Nidoqueen, he's going to take a ton of Life Orb damage to the point where he can't switch back on rocks. Even if he kills my Nidoqueen, I'm fine with it because it's done what it's needed to do at this point. And I'm just going to go for the rocks, my best play. And the rocks is just really nice versus this team. So that is pretty cool. He's not going to just be able to kill me with the Earth Power. Now my Shuckle Berry does pop, which is pretty cool. It does pop. Yeah, it does end up killing even though I have the Shuckle Berry, which is completely fine. I didn't really expect it to live. Now my Mega Latios comes out right here, and now this is pretty much my only check left to this thing. I could have actually, what I should have done, now looking in hindsight, this was another play that I probably was a bad play. I should have gone on Lucario right here because I was Air Balloon. That was a dumb play, definitely, because Earth Power wouldn't have been able to kill me. I did not think of that at the time, and this was a time to go on a Kyurem. But right here, I decided to risk the roll, and I saw that Dragon Claw was a roll to kill him right here. If I had Dragon Pulse, it would have not been a roll, but I do have Dragon Claw, so I end up deciding to risk the roll, and it does not kill him. I knew that it was a roll when I did go onto it, and I kind of regret that play. I should have definitely gone out into my Air Balloon Lucario. I kind of misplayed right there, but that's fine. Latios it got in range where E-Speed Lucario would kill. It was just, I really should have switched to Lucario. I'm looking back on this. It was kind of a dumb play. And E-Speed is going to be able to pick this thing off. I'm not used to using Air Balloon Lucario, and I kind of forgot about it. I didn't necessarily forget about it, but I don't know. It's just a dumb play. Now he's going to go onto his crest because he can do whatever he wants, and that is going to be completely fine with me. I'm going to switch out of my Lucario. I'm going to go onto my my Clefable right over here, and he's going to go for the Flamethrower. Oh, yeah. Because I saw the amount of health that he was at, I did not think he was a Cresselia. I forgot. I knew that he was a Zoroark right here, and I had to sack something off to this thing. And he actually reveals Flamethrower. So I was really confused that he revealed Flamethrower because that doesn't really hit my team very hard. And he reveals Sludge Bomb as well. So now I know he has Sludge Bomb. I know he has that other move. I know he has Sludge Bomb. We know he has Flamethrower, and then we know he has Dark Pulse. So the last move is most likely going to be his last move is most likely actually going to be is going to most likely, I'm sorry, I'm having a blank right now, but his last move is most likely going to be either Nasty Plot, maybe Sucker Punch. There's no sense to have Flamethrower plus Low Kick or plus Focus Blast, so I thought this point I could just win with Snorlax, and even though Snorlax I could have just won with right here, I should have probably gone on to Lucario still. After the rocks and after the 2 Life Orb hits, he was in range of Vacuum Wave, but I decided to risk the flinch right here, and I decided to go on to this thing. He does not end up having Low Kick, and he ends up going for the Dark Pulse, going for the flinch, and I don't actually flinch, spoilers, you're going to see, but I do get the rest off. So all he has is a Scolipede, which is going to almost die to rocks at entry. This thing I beat 1v1, and then his Zoroark, which I'm going to win. Well, no, his Crest I beat 1v1, and Zoroark I will beat because I'm already rested up, and I'm a Snorlax. Dark Pulse is not going to do much at all. So that is the battle pretty much right over here. I do end up winning this match. Spoilers. The only way you can win is through crits, and even then I try to play my best around any crits as possible. I do get the para first turn right here, which is fine, but definitely an interesting match. I definitely made a couple of misplays. Obviously I should have gone to Lucario over there, and I really should have not allowed Snorlax to get weakened like that earlier. That was definitely a dumb play to do, but we did end up beating Mono, which was number 1 in the entire TBU right now, which was pretty cool. We need to beat Bub next week to make it a playoffs, which is the plan right over here. Yeah, so what else I want to talk about? On Mono's Zoroark, actually, he was planned to be Low Kick instead of Flamethrower, and I think he had some genning error or something happened, and he was Flamethrower, which in hindsight, I don't think that would have mattered, because if he showed Low Kick, there was no way I was going out into my Snorlax. And since I had Vacuum Wave after Life Orb damage, he was in range of Vacuum Wave on his Zoroark. So unless he switched out, definitely would have came down to some 50-50s. And I'll also say that he did not end up seeing that I was Air Balloon Lucario, which was pretty funny. Everybody's blind when it comes to Air Balloons, man. But he did not know I was Air Balloon Lucario. So what could have happened is if he did show Low Kick, I would have gone to Lucario. And actually, the thing is that the funny thing is that I think it was actually a roll on Lucario for Low Kick to kill. So if he had Low Kick, I might have actually, I mean, I wouldn't have stayed in because Flamethrower is pretty obvious, but not obvious, but I thought he might have had Focus Blast, which should have definitely killed. But what am I saying? So Lucario, I would have been able to kill him, and the thing is that since he did not see my Air Balloon, he might have thought I was banded and switched out into something like his Cresselia. I don't know if he would do that. That would have probably been his better play, to be honest. But yeah, I'm not sure. It would have definitely come down to some 50-50s if he did have Low Kick. I'll say that for sure. And I don't think those 50-50s would have happened if I didn't misplay, which I know I say that a lot of the time. But I did do some dumb plays. I mean, a couple of dumb plays that, I mean, they weren't like really dumb, but I always try to get better, and I don't want to make misplays like that. The misplay, you know, I should have definitely not sacked off Latios or risked the crit right there. I think the crit was in my, no, not the crit, the roll. I think the roll was in my favor for Dragon Claw to kill. But over here, he actually gets a crit if you don't see, and I actually predict that immaculately. I go for the rest. I actually was taking some time to think about this, and I lost nothing for going for the rest on my lax right over here. Talking about the actual battle again. And I don't know, for some reason I was scared of a crit, but there's no reason for me not to go for rest right there. Like, I lost nothing from it, so I did click rest, and what do you know, he actually got a crit. Yeah, because if he got a crit beforehand, if he got the crit before, if he went for a side shock and then he got a crit after that, he would have won the game. So I want to go for rest right over there. But going back to the actual battle, not the battle, but going back to hypotheticals, if I went out to Lucario right there, since he did not actually see the Air Balloon, I mean, Fusion Bolt wouldn't have been able to kill. I would have had a full health Lucario, and then I would have definitely won that match, like, without a doubt. Definitely a dumb play on my part. I should definitely done that, because one of the reasons why I had Air Balloon was to check Kyurem as well as check, I was also, although I did think that he might have Focus Blast and Kyurem, but still, I should have definitely gone Lucario. I think that was definitely the better play, but yeah, he might have tried flinching me and gone for the Iron Head right there, though. But Yeah, I'm now Snorlax is just destroying Mono right here. I wish I could speed this up. I probably should have, but it's almost over now. It's fine. The Cresselia does end up dying, and yeah, he pretty much just lost at this point. Like, since Cresselia is down, even if he does somehow crit me or flinch me to death, I will no matter what win with Lucario because I have E-Speed plus Vacuum Wave in the back, so that's fine. So at this point, I won without a doubt. Even if he gets a million crits, he can't win. Yeah, he can't win. There's not really much else to say. I did end up winning, so I'm pretty happy about this. Very good chance that we'll go to playoffs. Now, obviously, we still have to beat Bub. And I'm not gonna say there's a very good chance because Bub is a really good player, so I should not say that at all. But I'm hoping that I can end up going to playoffs right over here. And that was kind of the plan to do. My plan when I did end up getting the TBU, I wanted to go to playoffs, and obviously I did not have the best season. I kind of, in my opinion, I played pretty bad at some points. Oh shit, let's just go right over here. Wait, what the fuck is going on? Alright, what the hell? Let's go like right over there, but, yeah, anyway, this was the battle. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me how you guys think about this way of recording. And go check out Mono. He is in the TBU as well. He's one of our TBU coaches, or not our TBU, but one of the TBU coaches, and he is one of the GBA coaches as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.